Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
Your guy B3 Picks here, at it again. Proud to announce a brand new partnership with BVO Sports TV and B3BoxingPicks.com. Let's go green. At B3BoxingPicks.com, we provide pre-fight boxing picks of the week, but also live boxing betting options so we can make money pre-fight or during the fight betting on the beautiful sport of boxing. Join now, only $10 a week or $25 a month by visiting B3BoxingPicks.com for the membership. Also follow me on all socials at B3BoxingPicks. Follow my YouTube, Not Another Boxing channel, presented by B3 Picks. And shout out to the People's Network, the one and only Sports Talk Network. Let's go green.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, BVO Sports TV, man. Some people call me Kareem Akbar. Some people call me, they call me the head usher, man. It's your boy, BVO. I'm in the house with I got two Puerto Ricans today, so I can't even say my favorite. We got my favorite cook, man. He here all day making chopped cheese, steak, egg, and cheese, steak sandwiches, teriyaki sandwiches. Shout out to my man, brother Juan. He came to work today. Juan usually don't come to work, so shout out to Juan. And definitely another one of he got the wrong colors on. He's supposed to have them on as orange and brown, but it's okay. We got Shador. Shout out to my man, Puerto Rican Free, and my favorite guy, man. He a Philadelphia Queens fan, so shout out to him. They're coming off a Super Bowl win. My man Prize. What's going on? How y'all feeling?
Salute my brethrens. Peace.
What's good?
Okay, we got a good show today. And I'm gonna just we're gonna start off with it hot, man. My man, Uncle Mosley, Uncle Shane has something come up, so he's going to receive rescheduled for next week, but he's going to be on. He promised to be on, so we're going to have Uncle Shane on. So for all y'all, my favorite big head dude is still coming through. So salute to my man right side, a.k.a. Varnell Hill, man. He do it for the children, man. Put them on their knee. I love that Varnell Hill episode.
Wow, boy.
Of Martin, man, but we got to talk about this, man. Boxing has been having an issue with beta males. And I want to know, is beta males taking over our great sport? Because we just seen Berlinga. Berlinga's 20-something years old, and he was making weapons with his hand like he was 5 years old. I don't know if you guys seen that.
That was crazy.
It was disgusting. And I feel like a guy like Berlinga, he's a wannabe. So what do you guys think about so many beta males, trying to take over our great sport? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I can go first.
I'll go first. It don't matter. But I don't know. I'm not going to call him a beta male because I don't know him like that. You feel me? If I don't know you like that, who am I to say you beta? I don't know you enough to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to call him. But I do feel what you're saying. Like, it's this weird kind of energy. I do feel that weird energy. You know what I mean? And maybe some of the content creators is beta males. You know what I mean? Or they act like them. So it go hand in hand, dog. But as far as beta male, I ain't gonna call them that because I don't know homie. You feel me? But I do feel a weird energy amongst us. You feel me? Because they act real different. They wear dangly earrings and they chain jackets and like leather boots and stuff. So it's definitely different. But I ain't gonna call them a beta male because I don't know the homies like that. And personally, I don't know them. And I'll pass.
who we talking about? Who we talking about?
Just fighters, period.
Oh, I don't know who that is, so I pass.
It's kind of hard for me to say they a beta male freak because I don't know them. I don't know the brothers personally, but they do act kind of soft in a sense. You know what I mean? They do suspect things and they dress funny sometimes, but that doesn't necessarily make you a beta. But it's in the new generation. I'm not gonna call any of these fighters beta males because I don't know them personally. That's my only thing.
Um, Beta males. I didn't see the press conference, so I can't really tell you about him. But beta males, I feel like there is a lot of those in boxing. I mean, not to say that they punks or nothing like that, nothing crazy like that. It's just what I'm saying, they just do childish things. I mean, we have plenty of them, and you can name a whole bunch of them, but it's just like at this point, why keep shedding light on these guys, man? So it's just for me, it's just like stop shedding light on these men. You know what I'm saying? When until they start acting like real men, at this point, just leave it alone.
Yeah, they young boys too,
I
though.
mean,
Yeah, Chris.
when you
Salute,
talk
OG.
when you talk about salute to everybody. When you talk about when you ask the question, are they beta males taking over the sport? Beta in what aspect? Because when we talk about the alpha, omega, and the beta, normally a beta means that someone that's behind an alpha, meaning they're not in charge, they're not a leader, they can't lead and things like that. So I can't really say they are betas in the sport of boxing as far as their personal lives. I don't know who running their lives or if they run a home or whatever the case may be. But if you're talking about their character, and like the fashion, like Pride spoke on, I don't really care nothing about that because your fashion don't make you a alpha, a mega, whatever the case. That don't do it. EST said the gear don't makes the MC the rhyme do. So the clothes don't
Hmm.
necessarily make a person a beta because someone just because they dress weird in a way or dress somewhat feminine doesn't mean that they are beta. A lot of those guys that look that way, um, they are alpha. They alphas. They bosses or what or the word that they like to use. So I wouldn't say the betas in that aspect. But far as overall, I would say are they are these guys soft compared to the previous generations? I would say that, but calling them betas, no.
I mean,
Yeah.
to to a certain my fault, to a certain perspective, you gotta look at their character. So it's like if you're portraying something on camera, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're portraying to be something on camera that you're not, you know what I'm saying? That could also make you a beta. It's not just your actions and stuff like that. Because you could be a straight up good dude, you know what I'm saying, to whoever, you know what I'm saying, in your close circle, and then be in other words a a basically an a-hole to anybody else, you know what I'm saying? But that to that core group, you can be, oh, yo, this dude's the man, you know what I'm saying? But to everybody else around, you know what I'm saying, that don't know you like that, you could just be like, oh, well, this dude's the a-hole or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
again, a lot of these fighters up in today, you know what I'm saying? Like even with a lot of dudes, you know what I'm saying, they portray to them to portray themselves to be, something that they're not, when knowing, well, that you're really not like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a pick and choose them. You know what I'm saying? But there are those fighters that you can be like, yo, yeah, bro, you really not like that. You was in the house. You know what I'm saying? You was fighting. You was in fight. You was fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
And
was
you in the
fighting, but
house.
you wasn't outside though. You really wasn't outside like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Um. I mean, I don't know about the term beta male. But is these fighters the type of fighters that we used to seeing? No, no, no. These guys ain't the guys that I'm used to seeing. I'm used to guys. They got somebody that's in front of them that they believe they can beat. They trying to get in the ring with them. A lot of these guys is more so worried about the money. They talk a good game, but they worried about
how big the bag is. It's not about proving who's the best anymore. It's about who can get the biggest bag. So it's a different time frame. And I keep telling y'all time and time again, these belts don't matter. And these fighters are proving it because there could be a belt on the line. But if it's a bigger bag over there, they're going for the bag. They ain't worried about being a champion. They worry about getting the biggest bag. So the young guys that's coming up, that's not at that level, yeah, those belts matter to them because those belts give them a name. But once they become a name, them belts don't matter. They just worried about getting the biggest bag. So, these guys are not the same type of fighters that I'm used to seeing from in my era of coming up in the sport of boxing. So that's what I say about
them. You cut out, Free.
BBO YSM said send him the link.
Yeah, I text him. I text BVO backstage. He probably getting it together. But yeah, I agree with you, Free. You know, like I said, I'm gonna stand on what I say. I can't call these dudes. I don't know what they really did. If they was outside, like homie Juan said, was they outside or was they not? You know, I don't know. But yeah. Damn, I had a phone call come in. I did see Berlanga acting crazy on the press conference though. He was like real immature, but you know that's him though. He got that New York swag, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, a lot of guys are doing anything to grab attention. If they can get the attention, that they're going to do what they got to do to get the attention. A lot of these fighters, they trying to figure out how can they become a household name or how they can become a star in the sport of boxing, because these guys all want to make the big money. They want the big bag. So a lot of these guys are trying to figure out how can they come up with a gimmick to become a star. And so you find guys doing things that normally they wouldn't do when they came up in the sport of boxing. They wasn't doing this. They were just about getting the best fight so they can prove that they're the better guy. Now it's about getting bigger bags. So they're trying to figure out how can they get the bigger bag. If more people want to see me, that's people want to see them. BBO, you having issues with your
Will.
What's going on, YSM?
Yeah, what's good with you?
YSM, my guy.
What's going on, bro?
Salute, brother.
Salute to y'all, man. What's going on? What's the topic?
Yeah.
BVO, I don't even know where he went to.
BBO was asking, have the beta male taken over the sport of boxing?
Yo, BVO. You funny as shit, bro. I wouldn't say that. You all right? So, is this in reference to how fighters move today?
Yeah.
All right. When this is just my perspective, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about the guys of yesteryear, the legends that just looked for the smoke and they cared more about legacy and than money and didn't really care about the business. They just wanted to fight, right? So we had guys like that, and those is the guys that we admired and whatnot. And what I want people to take a look at is, what do you think when it was all said and done, they told the next generation when they're in the gyms with them and the next generation is asking them advice? What do you think the one thing that they preach to them? Focus on your business. Make sure your business is here.
Get as much money as you can get.
Because now they're beaten and broken down. Well, what do they got to show for it? They gave us all these legacy fights and they fought the best when we wanted them to in the whole nine. And all they get is, us wanting to take a picture with them. But dudes like Bob Arum, dudes like Lou DiBella, they made all the money. And now these guys got brain damage. When you see them, they're like shells of their former self. So when they see the next generation and when they talk to them, the first thing they gonna tell them is, yo, Make sure your money's right. Don't sign no bullshit contracts. Make sure you look and have a lawyer read through everything. So I'm not mad at the younger generation from listening and learning from the older ones' mistakes. There has to be some balance. And I think dudes like Ryan Garcia are the problem because like Ryan Garcia is a superstar, is looked at as a superstar, and he's never even competed for a world title. I mean a real world title. There's something wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with a fighter making sure that his business is right and making sure that taking a tough fight makes sense. Just my perspective.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I feel it, and I really do get where you're coming from because you know, when as you know, as you're growing up and stuff, and you watching stuff around the gym and stuff like that, and you watching these dudes around the gym, like you come up and you be like, oh well, you be like, who you fighting next or whatever the case may be, and you know what I'm saying, and they don't know what's the meaning of what they got to do to just getting in the ring itself, because sometimes money ain't right, sometimes things just fall apart, um and which is fine, you know what I'm saying, but a lot of times I feel like when it comes to like the Ryan Garcias and stuff like that, the reason why people consider them a superstar is because of the internet success beforehand. Same
Mm.
thing with like even Devin, like him having some type of internet success beforehand, even before hitting the top 10 in a weight class. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, well, we've seen this kid on the internet. Well, why might as well have not? You know what I'm saying? Literally the same way that I discovered Tank was literally on Instagram. Like that's how I discovered Tank. I didn't discover Tank on a show. I didn't discover Tank on, nationals, or I didn't discover Tank. Like I didn't see him until I, made an Instagram one day and I seen him knock some dude out. And I was like, yo, who is this? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a different type of generation. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. Like be like, oh well, why is this guy a superstar? Because he has a massive social media. Like you can't. The same reason why like Jake Paul does all those numbers is because a lot of those kids that are watching YouTube or whatever the case may be is the reason why, because they're watching that stuff. They're watching him.
Wait,
There's
Jake's a
this.
little different because Jake was a star before boxing.
Yeah, yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like you gotta kind of like I don't know how you discovered Tank, but for me, I discovered Tank on Instagram, literally on Instagram, and a lot of people discovered him that way. Was on Instagram. It wasn't him fighting on an undercard on those old PBC cards on Fox Sports. It wasn't that. It was him on the internet knocking dudes out. That's how a lot of those kids, what I'm saying, a lot of these people are following Tank. That's how a lot of them found him. It's because okay, well, boom, and then the Pedraza fight happened, and that just exploded him more into a superstar.
Well, I don't think Tank was a superstar. I think Tank became a superstar within the last 5 years. I hear what you're
Exactly. Yeah.
saying, but here's where I tweak it slightly. Oscar De La Hoya was a superstar, right? Oscar De La
Right.
Hoya was a star before he turned pro. He's a star for beating people up. He was beating people up in the amateurs. He won a gold medal. He became a star. Like Devin Haney and Tank, people might have discovered them or saw them on the internet, whether it's a sparring session or whether there's a knockout, but they're champions. Ryan Garcia, to my recollection, is the only guy that's ever been considered a star and that's never fought for a world title, a real world title, not a Reggie belt, a real world title.
And he
Hey,
was scumbag,
YSM,
man.
real quick, YSM. Jab Queen has a question for you from when you came in with your dialogue. She said, "Do you think that's why it creates so much duck talk because the OGs told them to make sure they go for the bag and get their business right?"
I think so. I think that I
My bad.
think that. Well,
My
go
bad.
ahead. What you gonna say, bro?
Oh, my bad, man. I was cutting grass. My bad. I didn't know you would pull up. My bad. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
finish
he
what you're
answering
saying.
the
No,
question, BBO.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that when you when you start doing risk versus reward or seeing what makes sense at some point, then yeah, you're going to get a lot of you're ducking. Because once you reach a certain level, everybody wants to fight you. And you have to do what's best for you in your business. And so you're going to get, if you fight one dude and 5 want to fight you, they're going to say you ducked the other 4. Now,
Yeah.
is there ducking going on? Yeah, Canelo ducked Benavidez.
Stop the cap.
Canelo
Stop
ducked
the cap.
Benavidez. Canelo,
Stop the cap.
Say it again,
listen,
YSM.
listen.
Say it again, YSM.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you. All right, Terrence Crawford didn't duck Jaron Ennis. Okay, Terrence Crawford had more lucrative fights on the horizon than a Jaron Ennis. He's getting one. Canelo Alvarez versus Benavidez, to me, was the biggest fight in boxing at that point in time.
YSM.
So
Let me ask you this, because I know how you are, man. I want the real YSM. This is politician YSM. This is
Go ahead.
politician. I know how you. I want the real you.
Wow.
I heard you on your live. You promised the people that you was gonna give us the real YSM. No more corporate YSM.
Okay, come on, then. Come on,
yeah,
then.
now you. That's what you told me. You can't
Come
tell
on,
me
then.
what you did. How would you said, right?
Come on.
Okay.
What
Now
you wanna
we know. We don't even know who David Benavidez is. I never heard of this guy you're talking about. So
You
he coming off a
can't.
fight. He coming off a fight with a prospect, and you want him to step in with one of the greatest fighters to ever live? Come on.
Is David Benavidez on pay-per-view?
Yes.
Everybody watched it, but me and you.
He's been on pay-per-view for the last 3 fights, right?
The only people watched it was me and you.
Nah. He's been on pay-per-view. He's been on pay-per-view 3 fights, right? Him versus Benavidez is a huge fight. It's not big. Him versus Benavidez is a huge fight.
But we already had huge fights. We fought Floyd. You forgot?
He did.
You forgot? You forgot we fought Danny Jacobs. We fought Triple G in his prime. We fought Coddle in his prime.
I mean,
we fought Kovalev in his prime.
Here's my thing. If you're either about legacy or you're about money. Sometimes you can be about both, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying is, if you telling me that you're not about belts or whatnot, then you should be about the bread.
Mm-hmm.
So is Canelo versus Benavidez a very lucrative fight for Canelo?
I don't think it's as lucrative as fighting Terrence Crawford, one of the greatest to ever do it.
Okay. Is it a more lucrative fight than William Skull?
We got to get
Is
paid.
it more lucrative fight? Wait, is it a more lucrative fight than Jaime Munguia?
Didn't the brother from your city say, hold on, didn't the brother from your city say, I got to feed my kids? We got to feed our kids, man.
Is it a more lucrative fight?
I don't know.
Than
We got to
Jaime
feed our
Munguia?
kids, man.
Is it a more lucrative fight than Edgar Berlanga? That's what I'm saying, though.
Well, that's a tough fight. Berlanga's a monster.
All right. Stop the cap.
Hold
Let's stop the cap now.
Hold on. Forgive him. Sorry, my man been cooking sandwiches all day. Shout out to my man, Juan. That's my favorite. He been making steak and eggs all day. So now he a little upset.
That's crazy.
But I'll say this because we finally getting the real YSM. We've been waiting on it. We've been waiting a long time to get the real YSM on here. So I'm gonna ask you this.
Good.
I'm saying that. Who wins if Canelo fights Benavidez? Your honest opinion.
At one time, I felt like Canelo Alvarez could beat Benavidez. After watching William Skull, looks like Canelo's slowing down. Benavidez would beat the brakes off Canelo.
Yeah.
Hold on.
20 minutes.
You talking about a dude that was doing the electric slide and all them dances we grew up seeing our parents doing, running from Canelo?
Oh, come on.
And did you forget that we beat BBO's favorite fighter, Jamel Charlo? Beat him to death. He turned a lion to a mouse, like my man Meek Mill said. I know you heard that. He turned a lion to a mouse. I mean, if you want to see Canelo dog walk another guy, okay, say that. But don't say Canelo not taking the best fights when you fight one of the best black fighters that ever lived, and Terrence Bud Crawford, whether people like him or not. That little black brother can fight. And that's a tough fight. If we beat him, this makes up for that Floyd loss. What do you think?
No,
that don't work that way.
Wait, what?
We get our redemption.
You heard
I'm
him.
asking. Don't just give us our redemption.
No,
No, bro.
Yo,
No, bro. What is wrong
yo.
with you?
So
Hold on,
what you
don't let
saying
Wise
is,
him off the
BBO,
hook. Don't let Wise him
if
off the
I
hook,
be,
free. Don't let him off the hook.
I'm not
Don't
gonna
let
let
him
him off
off
the
the
hook. I
hook.
just gotta ask you. I just gotta ask you a question. I'm gonna let him answer it. I just gotta ask you a question. So if I beat you in basketball, that mean I could beat Prize in basketball?
I don't know what you're talking about, free. So I don't know your Puerto Rican tricks, man. They're not gonna work on me. I
This is
already know your
crazy
Puerto
work.
Rican tricks.
This is crazy
They're
work.
not gonna work on me, man. Your
Hey,
Puerto
yo.
Rican tricks ain't gonna work on me.
Question is Edgar Berlanga, right?
Yeah,
Is Edgar Berlanga sells more than David Benavidez?
I don't think so. I think they're about the same.
No,
They're about the same, really? Edgar Berlanga's on pay per view. Is this? He's on
he's
pay
not
per
even
view.
on pay per view.
He
Uh,
fought. He fought. His last fight was a Coleman.
yeah. Well, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Benavidez
Who?
is great. Benavidez
Who?
is great at flops. You're absolutely right. When he fought Dimitri Boo Boo Andre, who was over the hill,
Is
and
David?
two people watched it.
Is David Benavidez a more accomplished fighter than Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so when you choose those guys instead of David Benavidez, if he'd have chose Terrence Crawford, I wouldn't have been upset. And
Mhm.
mind you, I thought that a couple years back, I thought he had a real good opportunity at beating David Benavidez, being that um, I think that David Benavidez, if you watch the Ronald Garrido fight, you can catch Benavidez in between the shots because he throws so many. Sometimes he gets reckless and his feet be all over the place. But he has gotten better, and Canelo is slowing down. What I'm saying is, and y'all know I'm a boots guy. Terrence Crawford didn't duck boots. Benavidez got ducked by Canelo. Being that if it's your most lucrative fight and you don't do it, there has to be a reason. And the reason being you're afraid to lose. Boots is probably like number 4, number 5 on Crawford's most lucrative fights as far as what could be on the table today. Probably, I'm gonna say number 30. And so if you took the
I don't agree with that.
okay, who would you have? Who would
No,
you have over it?
I think he duck boots. I think he duck boots because you can't tell me him fighting Magnumov was a more lucrative fight than fighting Boots.
Well, let me say this. I appreciate why.
You breaking up, BBO, a little
Okay,
bit.
hold
Yeah, you
You breaking up a
breaking
little
up,
bit.
Brody.
I mean, I see where he's talking about.
I see what he's
Like,
talking about, but I just don't
I
think
see where he's
Magnumov was a more lucrative fight.
I see where he's talking about
If we,
because you got to remember at the time we was thinking this. I mean, I could be wrong here. I could be wrong. This is me just
at the time,
spitballing.
what?
Remember when Mel went up to fight Canelo and stuff like that? Before Mel went up to fight Canelo, there were talks about
About Crawford and Mel.
yeah, exactly. So I
Mm-hmm.
could see where
No,
that
because Crawford
conversation.
said he don't want to fight Mel because he lost.
No, this is
Yo,
before. This is before the hand.
Before he fought Magnumov, Crawford said he don't want to fight Mel because he lost.
No, we're talking before the Mel and Canelo fight. There were
Yes,
talks.
but I'm talking
There,
about I'm talking about before he even moved up to 54. He said he wanted to. They had to fight with Earl. They was talking about the rematch. No, neither one of them agreed on what weight they was going to fight at. So they dragged out the rematch. At that time, Jamel went to go fight Canelo. They was talking about making the Jamel fight, but Jamel went to go fight Canelo. After Jamel lost to Canelo, Crawford said, "I don't want to fight Jamel because he lost." He said,
no,
"What good
he
is it?"
did.
He
Can I
lost to Canelo.
can I address the point that you made? All right, so this is the reason why I say it wasn't a duck because there was a logical reason in why he didn't fight him, and the logical reason being I wiped out a whole entire division. Now I'm going to move up and get another belt in another division.
He didn't wipe
Now
out the whole entire division though.
he became undisputed. So that's what I mean by wiped
He,
it out.
he
He became
no,
undisputed in that
I
he
mean,
became he became undisputed in that division, right? So him saying, okay, I want to jump up to 154 and win another belt. I'm not mad at that. And mind you, I'm a guy that thinks that Boots at any time would have stopped Terrence. But the reality is there was a logical reason
no, but
in
that
which go ahead, bro.
No, I was saying, I was saying, I mean, but the man he went up there to fight Magnavoff. You said he had more lucrative fights. That was the argument you said. He had more lucrative fight, and I said I believe that Jerron Boots Ennis was more lucrative than Magnavoff. Now we're going to the belts. That's not what you said at first.
No. You're 100% right. I was referring to the Canelo fight, but when you go back to the Madrimov fight, the one thing that makes sense is winning a belt in another division. So what I was originally saying is I'm not mad at him for going to fight Canelo because it's more money than Boots. I don't think that there's more money for Canelo. I don't think there's more money for Canelo Alvarez out there that's more than David Benavidez. I don't even think Crawford would generate as much as David Benavidez. For me,
I don't think it will either. I agree with that. Crawford moving up to fight Canelo. Yeah, if Canelo take that fight, yeah, you can't pass that up. He's the money man. You can't pass that up. But at the time, Crawford wasn't thinking about fighting Canelo until after Jamel lost to Canelo. After Jamel lost to Canelo, that's when Crawford started thinking about fighting Canelo. Prior to that, he wasn't thinking about fighting Canelo. He was talking about fighting Earl in a rematch at 47 and then fighting Jamel Charlo. So when it came to Jerron Boots Ennis as the mandatory, they said, we're going to step in. We know you got a rematch, but this mandatory is sitting here waiting. This not a unification fight. So we're gonna make this mandatory. He said, nah, it's a lose-lose for me.
Mm-hmm. My bad.
Reward, as a matter of fact, he said it's a high risk, low reward. That's what he said. It's a high risk, low reward.
My bad. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, man. But I say this: the thing that puzzles me the most, and one thing I will say, you've been consistent on this, Wise, and you have been saying that Boots didn't, Crawford didn't duck Boots, which is I believe to be true as well. But just taking a step back, when you see a guy like Canelo, it's a shame that fans don't, give him more love, more adoration. He's done everything. Andre Ward talked that crap. He would come back. When Canelo said, whatever you want to do, we see he kept his boots at the church. He never came back. So my thing is this. I think Canelo.
When did Canelo say that?
You remember when Andre Ward took the picture of his boots and said he was thinking back, and Canelo pretty much let it be known it's whatever. If the price is right, we'll fight.
I don't remember him saying that.
I'll send you the clip. But make a long story. I'm gonna see you the clip. To make a long story longer, as Myrie would say, we can say what we want about Canelo, but he keep fighting the toughest guy. He beat the young guy, and Berlanga beat the young guy Jaime Munguia. Nobody said that when Lennox beat David Tua and all them other young guys. That's a part of it. You got to beat the young guys too. You can't just beat all the contenders. Every fight can be a hard fight. Some of them
David.
Go ahead.
I know, but aren't they David Benavidez' age? He's a young guy. Huh?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what he brings to the table. No one knows who this guy is. He only got a name because Mike Tyson was high and said the Mexican monster. That's the only reason why people know who he is. Before that, he was the fat kid on coke. That's who he was. He was the fat.
I've been trying to.
Yo, you serious?
Hold on. Don't interrupt, freak. Don't interrupt, freak. I want to put Wise on the line because we got to give Canelo his credit. Because if he beats Benavidez, then you gonna say who you gonna say next? When we beat Benavidez, then you gonna say
here's the problem, right? You're assuming that I'm a Canelo hater.
No, I'm not assuming. I know you're not.
No. But that's how you. But that's how you coming off. Like if he beats David Benavidez, I'm gonna give him all the credit in the fucking world. I think Canelo is arguably the greatest fighter of his generation.
Right.
It's a couple of dudes at that top, but if I'm going to be honest, he ducked David Benavidez. Yo, it's not about him losing. That's the thing. It's about him having to pass that mantle. Because if he loses to David Benavidez, then David Benavidez becomes the face of Mexican boxing, and that affects Canelo's money. Canelo's not a stupid man. If I lose to a Russian, it ain't gonna matter. Shit's still popping. But if I lose to a Mexican, now all of a sudden he getting Cinco de Mayo. And now I'm fighting in December. You feel me?
I see what you said. My only thing
He a
is no one
businessman.
said anything when Sugar Ray Leonard ran from Aaron Pryor. No one said anything.
Niggas been talking shit about that for 50 years, bro.
That's crazy.
Yo, bro, Aaron,
Nasty
niggas been
work.
calling Ray Leonard a duck for 50 years off that, bro. Easy.
Nasty work.
Like, come on. People been saying that Tommy Hearns and what's the name and Ray Leonard ducked Aaron Pryor for years. So you can't say that. Everybody gets criticism. I just don't think you comfortable with Canelo getting criticism.
No,
Now,
I'm not a Canelo fan. I'm not a Canelo fan. I'm a Jamel Charlo fan. You know, and let me ask you this, because we didn't even because I was messing around.
Let me ask you a question real quick though, BVO. Like just a serious question. So when he was at 54, right? Everybody remembers there was two Charlo brothers that he was supposed to do fight. He induct them too.
You said who?
The Charlo brothers when he was at 54, didn't he duck them
and
too?
Andrew,
He ducked Boo Boo, and he did duck Boo Boo. I don't know about the Charlos, but I do know he ducked Boo Boo down there.
No, he ducked them. He ducked them because they were
That
on the same network.
wasn't a fight for him to fight because I mean nobody knew those guys.
How? When they were both mandatories. They were both his mandatories.
and motherfuckers do Beefy Smith? Come on, man. We ain't doing
Come on, man.
Beefy
You come,
Smith.
man. You come.
Come on, man. Motherfuckers do Beefy?
See, I see what Wyatt Simmons doing because he's a cool guy. I
that's
can't compete with
crazy.
him on being cool. I can't out cool him. He's a cool cat.
Oh my
But
God.
this is what I
Here
tell
you
you.
go.
I'm just a boxing nerd. I'm just a nerd from the city. But let me ask you this, Wyatt Sim. When you see a guy like Emiliano Vargas, and you've actually interviewed him, man, what is it like seeing the next big thing in boxing?
I think Emiliano is like he's like the new breed of Mexican fighter. You know, before you come forward dudes or whatnot, but I think Canelo's kind of ushered in like a new breed where now it's cool for Mexican fighters to be slick. Where before, oh, you're running, or you're not fighting like a man. Nah, like now you're gonna see the Mexican dudes that's gonna be slick, using skills and being elusive. And I think like he is him and Abdullah. That is going to be a mega fight, and I can't wait, yo.
And I'm gonna ask you this: if he puts Abdullah down, do you think he'll get credit?
Yes, he will.
And I'll ask you this: have you got a chance to see Ishmael Mason yet?
No.
Abdullah's little brother. Have you got a chance to see him yet?
No. He nice?
Man, he's the bigger, stronger version of Abdullah, man.
Yo, usually it's always the little bro, like the youngest. Normally it's the youngest, man.
I don't know what it is about the youngest, but it seemed like they always have everything. Right?
Yeah.
Only thing I will say about Ishmael, from what I've got to see, he's that's the only problem. Because he actually has been influenced by the city. He spent more time in Cleveland. Because to be honest, in Cleveland, you go, it's nothing but blacks and Puerto Ricans here. So you see the Spanish come forward style in Ishmael, where they force the box with. That don't pay no bills, man. We want to see cats come forward. But that being said, I want to ask you about another fight, man. Who wins that fight between Manny Pacquiao versus Boots Ennis?
That's crazy.
Man, it's that.
Hey, yo, the best version of Manny Pacquiao. The best version, I'm talking about roided up. The best version of Manny Pacquiao that you've ever. I'm talking about the best version of Manny Pacquiao that's ever existed. Boots sits him down in 6.
Jeez.
Easy.
You gonna push him?
Easy. If you mean pushing, you mean push his wig back, yeah.
Well,
That's what you mean.
Another thing.
Go ahead, BB.
Is that true?
BB, are you breaking up again?
Yeah, you breaking up. I can't hear you, bro.
Okay, my bad. No, can y'all hear me now?
Try it again.
Okay, what I was saying is you close to Boots. Is that stuff true about him hitting people on the nuts, or is that propaganda?
What you mean hitting people in the nuts? You talking
Like,
about low blows?
Yeah, low blows, yeah.
It's boxing, man. Shit happens. Stuff be on the belt line, maybe a shot astray. It's boxing.
Oh, I
Name
forgot
a
you from
great
Philly,
fighter.
man. I forgot y'all.
No,
Y'all still,
I'm saying, name a great fighter that's never hit somebody low. It happens.
we never seen Floyd doing that.
Yes, you have, bro.
Man,
Bullshit.
if
Stop
Floyd
it,
did, it was
bro.
by mistake.
Yeah. Just like Floyd using his forearms is by mistake too. Floyd will put his forearm right in your throat
Yeah.
if you crowd him.
Mm-hmm.
That's an
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
accident, man. That's an
Yo,
accident.
Ain't no
every
accident.
my favorite fighter, Andre Ward. Every great fighter's a dirty motherfucker, yo.
Oh, he's
Mm-hmm.
one of the
You
dirtiest
say it
ever.
again, yeah.
He's one of the dirtiest ever. When you say,
Andre Ward stayed throwing bows,
yeah,
headbutts, everything.
It's a
I
fight.
mean,
It's a
I mean,
I
fight.
yeah,
stopped
it's a
into
fight.
Andre Ward.
Yeah.
I was so mad when Kovalev did knock him out. Oh, I was so mad.
I don't know why. The American
'Cause,
brother went up there and beat that Russian boy up when that Russian boy was on a tear, and you don't want to root for him.
see, I didn't root for him because the way he beat my man Bad Chad, he beat Bad Chad to death. I
He
was sad
beat he
about
beat Bad Chad
that.
so bad. That's one of Andre Ward's best performances to me. He really put it on Bad
he only
Chad.
got two.
I
He only
thought
got
Bad
two
Chad
more
was kind
rounds.
of crazy for coming down to 68 messing with Andre Ward.
I
I thought
was
that was
so
crazy.
excited. I was so
Yeah, me
excited for
too.
that fight.
Me too.
Man,
Me too.
Dre Ward's my guy. Favorite fighter
Mm-hmm.
of all time. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a great fight. He
It
beat the
was.
brakes off the Chad.
Yeah,
Yes, he
he beat
did.
the brakes
Yes,
off
he
him.
did, y'all.
He could
He
he could
beat him
not
to
miss,
death.
bro. He could
Yeah,
not
nah.
miss at all, bro. He was hitting them with right hands, straight left hands, the power jab. That's my favorite thing from Andre
He
Ward.
did him.
That power
He did
jab.
him dirty. He
Yes,
did
he
him
did. He did
dirty.
him.
And
He did him
you
real
know the thing
good.
Dirty
about Andre
Frost.
Ward, they talk about him, but people forgot. Carl Froch put hands and feet on him. He
No,
just
he
ran out of
did
gas.
not.
Man. He just
No,
ran
he
out of
didn't.
gas. Man.
What are you
That's all
talking
he
about,
not.
man?
I ain't give Frotch no more than 3 rounds. BVO,
Carl
you going
Froch,
try to go out and come back in. BVO, it's
hey
You
man, why you
chopping
keep
up,
doing that?
chopper.
Okay, let me see that.
because you're messing up the interview. It's hard to hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah.
Cause you clapping, so you starting to chop up.
He got that internet from Obama.
Oh my.
You got that.
Yeah, but my man
Go ahead.
Free. No, when I classify when I classify duck, for me it has to be like irrefutable. Like you, if you don't have a logical reason not to fight this person, then you duck it. If it's gonna be your highest
Yeah.
payday, if it makes sense, yeah. I don't think that Terrence Crawford can beat Boots, respectfully. And I think Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. I think Terrence Crawford definitely has a shot at beating Canelo Alvarez, but I think styles make fights. And I think that also timing is everything. I think that it made more sense for Terrence Crawford to move up to another division or chase a money fight.
Right.
The only thing that was waiting for him at 47, which he was saying that he was having trouble making, was an ass whooping. Respectfully,
I didn't see
10.
no reason for Terrence Crawford to fight Jerron Ennis at that time.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I didn't call Terrence a duck because I felt like it was too much of a risk and nobody's going to give him credit at that time for beating Jerron. So I thought he did the right thing by go up, get another belt in another weight class, and now put himself in a position to do what he does.
Oh yeah,
That's
nah.
pretty
I
much
don't know.
it.
Boots
Yeah.
Boots is a little bit different now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
now I said at the time, That's why I said it's not a duck. But if you want to call it a duck, people have their other opinions and why a duck is what a duck is to them. YSM might
Yeah.
have his own opinion, Free have his, I got mine, Crusher have his, BBO have his.
Facts.
So you know what
Yo,
I'm saying?
now,
It's all
if
good.
you
If
want
you
to
want to
ask
call
me,
him that,
did he avoid it? Yeah, he avoided it. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna be honest. He avoided the hell out of Boots. Did he duck it? A,
I don't
a
say
duck
I
is
say
when,
no.
yeah, a duck is when you like, yo, there's no reason why you shouldn't fight this guy, and you come up with every reason not to. Then you shook.
Honestly, so real quick question, YSM, because you from Philly.
Yeah,
Did you think that Danny Garcia ducked Terrence?
of course he
not
did.
necess- not necessarily. Didn't
Why
he
why do
go?
you say why do you
Didn't he
say
go
that?
into a fight? Didn't he go into a fight with Earl?
No, I
Who?
think it was. I think this is when he beat Matisse, and then I believe
Oh, you talking about
Somebody
him
back at
moving?
140?
Yeah, that when they were
Yeah,
both at one.
where he ran the 47.
Yep.
No, you. All right. So remember, he fought Lamont Roach at a catchweight, right?
Right.
And then he left the division. And Terrence was just jumping to 40. So no, I wouldn't consider that a duck because number one, if I already had like if I'm struggling to make the weight and I already had plans of jumping up, just because you jump up to the weight class, don't mean me and you got to do something. Especially when those two companies at that point in time really wasn't rocking with each other.
Right.
So no, I don't consider that a duck. That's like me
That's
saying
so long ago.
that did Bud duck all the young 40s when he got undisputed and decided to leave for 47.
Yeah, I got another question for you, man. Sorry about my phone. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I got the Michelle Obama plan, even though it's
You
no
telling
president.
you telling so many lies, man. Your phone.
Hold on. You my brother, man. Don't say that,
That's
man. You my
cold.
brother,
That's
That
man.
boy,
cold.
Don't take
Zach.
it.
that boy phone service is cricket right now. Come on now.
Men at
Hell,
work right now.
you said he didn't duck Benavidez. Like, come on, man. We ain't gonna tell them lies, man.
Come on, man. We don't know who he is, man. And you being unfair. We didn't know who he
You,
was, man.
we don't know who David Benavidez is.
When y'all wanted to fight originally, we didn't know who he was. He was a fat kid with the curly hair with the rocker wear on. That's who we remembered him as. We didn't know he was a good fighter. He turned out to be okay, but I wouldn't say he's great. But I want to ask you something, man. I want to ask you something. Sorry that I usually try to ask these questions early, but I just want to ask you this, man. How has things been going, man? Where I was looking at North Philly.
You chopping up again, bro.
You're chopping up,
Chopping up
BBL.
again,
Yeah, I don't
BBL.
know. Yeah, my joint is off today. I don't know what's going on. But can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but reason I was saying that is, man, I was looking at the stuff with North Philly, man. What's going on with the kids being so violent toward each other in North Philly? I want you to kind of speak to that.
Oh, that's loaded, bro. How candid can I be?
You the mayor of the city, man. Everybody I know from Philly say they know you first. You gotta tell us
All
the
right.
truth.
So I feel like you got a lot of young YNs that don't know how to process their emotions. Right. The one thing that your pop teaches you early, right, is cut out all that bitch shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. A man teaches a younger man to don't like fall victim to your emotions. Be able to compose yourself even when you're upset. And I think that that's something that they haven't learned because the first thing they do when they upset is not pick up a fist, they pick up a gun and they make a permanent decision off of a temporary feeling. And you got a bunch of kids up there in jail with grown men because of a temporary feeling. And talking to them, everything's so glamorized about being a shooter, And dudes are going to do whatever women are attracted to. Like everything goes back to women. Guys drive nice cars because of women. Guys dress a certain way because of women. Guys flash their cash because of women, right? And women are attracted to gangster shit. Women are attracted to tough guys. And so these young boys want to go out there and they want to perpetrate that and don't fully understand the consequences that come with it. Life isn't Grand Theft Auto. There's no reset button. Once you're doing life, you're doing life. But the shit is so glamorized that they think that that's the way to be. That makes you a real nigga. Can't talk to them.
They can't, especially the Philly kids, man. They got short
Yeah.
fuses, man. We just lost a young boy, a real good young boy, not too long ago, a couple days ago.
Facts.
One that
Oh yeah,
rapper, he
yeah.
was what's his
Qua.
name?
Yeah,
Quai,
Qua.
yeah.
Qua.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Qua.
nasty. He wasn't even that kind of. I don't want to say he was that kind of guy because the way he rapped was kind of like real, like
Voice of the
But
youth, man.
yeah, that shows, and it was over a chain. They wanted his chain, bro. That man lost his life on Mother's Day for a chain, dog. Like the Philly is out of pocket right now. But
I think
2300 turned out good. That turned out good. No violence happened after 2300 after the fights last weekend. That turned out to be good. Know what I mean? And YSM, you did a hell of a job recording. You know what I mean? I was the one that came up to you and said I was with BVO, and you was
Oh, my
recording the
man,
home. Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
man.
That was me. Yeah, that was me. And that's some good fights, and all the brothers and Spanish people in there turned out really good. And everybody was showing love. I talked to Hank Lundy. I would like to see more of that in Philly.
Hank, that's my man. Hank
Yeah,
from
I
the
talked to
same
him.
part
I
as
talked
Philly
to
I'm
me and my
from.
son
He from
talked to
South
him.
Philly.
We talked to him. You know what he said? He said he'll fight Tevin. He can still make 40. That's what he told me and my son. Real talk. Can't make
Yo,
that up.
honestly, that fight makes sense, yo.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, "Won't you
Well,
fight Tev?"
yeah. Hank and
That's what I
TF.
told him.
Yeah,
I told him. I said, "Won't you fight Tev?" He's like, "I do." He said, "I can still make 40." That's pretty dope. But I want to see more turnouts like that in our city, man. For real, for real.
Hey, yo,
yeah.
is Tav fighting Kid Austin? Is that real?
I didn't
Who?
I didn't hear anything about it. YSM that Ted's supposed to fight Kid Austin. I haven't heard anything of it, but you
Yeah,
might be on
I
to
heard.
something.
Yeah, I heard something like that. To me, that's a fight that makes sense. I feel like Kid needs. It's dangerous for Kid though, but Kid needs a
Yeah,
live dog in there, especially after
Mm-hmm.
the whole shit with the illness. That was a duck, yo.
Mm.
So are we going to acknowledge that was a duck?
yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, YSM. It's one of our young Philly cats that I want to ask you about. That's coming up. And you spoke to him once, and I'm close to his family, man. I'm trying to get him on the show, man. And my man Salim Bey, the surgeon, man.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about Salim? I know him since he was a tiny kid, man. How you feel about him?
I like that young boy.
Yeah, Salim Nasty. I'm trying to get him on here.
When 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 Boots goes on and Celine Bay's gonna carry that mantle.
That's what I was thinking too.
Ray Robinson, Ray Leonard, Floyd, Crawford, Boots, Celine Bay.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's
I'm
gonna get
trying to
as
get
high as
him.
47, but he's a part of that. Like, yeah, he's gonna be the next great fighter. Like, if Celine Bay don't win titles in two divisions, like for me, anything he accomplishes as an amateur, I just say that like, okay, like call me when you win a world title, bro. Like anything you're doing right now, I expect it and I expect more. And I know I shouldn't be that
Yeah.
old head, but that's the reality of it.
No,
Him being
no.
the number one, yeah,
Yeah.
him being number one, him being a captain of Team USA, that shit that we
Hell yeah.
saw at 9, 10 years old. You can see it. You can see it clear as day.
Exactly. 12-time national champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be the real deal. I don't know how high he goes in weight, but I think he's gonna definitely win a world title one day for sure.
He's on his way, man. So I was
Yeah.
letting these guys know, man. We got some things cooking in the city, man. And now
Mhm.
they gonna know. I'm trying to get the surgeon on here. I'm trying to get him on
That'd be
here.
dope.
Yeah, his dad told me he get with me, give him some time. 'Cause I know his father's side of the
Yeah.
family. I know his
Yo,
father and mother.
did,
They actually do my locks. His folks actually take care of my locks. So
Word.
go way
do
back
you
with him. Yeah.
did you know that his father is responsible is one of the major components and why I am where I am today?
No, I ain't know that. YSM. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
You know how Philly boxing culture is. Philly boxing culture is a who you know, right? If
Yeah.
you're an
Mm-hmm.
outsider, you will not be welcome. Like people will look at you like you the ops, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we are here. Yep.
I knew Celine Bay Pop from boxing groups on Facebook. And then when I started doing this, he gave me a tutorial of who to go see, who to talk to, how to talk to him. So I already had an education and Philly boxing etiquette before I even started. And that's why I was able to get into certain gyms and people ended up fucking with me.
Yeah.
So salute to Daoud Bey, man.
Yeah, salute to Daoud Bey.
You
Not
can't just run up
TV
in them
them Bay
Philly
people.
gyms.
That's a different Bay. It's not
yeah.
not the TV Bays and the Daoud
When I
Bay.
was,
This is a different Bay. I just wanted to put it out
hey
there.
yo, when I was a
All
young boy,
right.
you could my man Latif used to box, and
Latif
we could
Monday?
do. Yeah, that's my bro.
Okay.
Yeah, Latif is me and Latif. We met. We started construction really young together, so we was building the Eagle Stadium at the time. And Lot used to be like, "Yo, call me." He was still amateur at the time. He was like, "Yo, call me to the gym." We used to run up in the Fraser gym, and then Cyclone Heart was all in there. I remember Jesse, Cyclone Sun when he was real young. He still was amateur too. He got a couple stoppages. I used to go to the fights me and Latif, we real good friends. That's my dude. Yeah,
Oh, that's dope. Latif can rumble.
he could. He would fight anybody too. He used to come on a job and practice on me. I used to be like, man, I ain't doing this no more. He's like, just put your hands up. I'm like, you just I don't know if you hit me in the body. I ain't like, but that was one of my best friends. We rocked out. I ain't spoke to him in a minute, but I guaranteed you if I holler at him, it's all love. That's one of my good friends there. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. He had some good fights, He won some, he lost some, but he doing good. He a family man. That's my bro. Shout out Latif.
Yo, YSM, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Man, my bad. My bad. I'm on Obama time. I'm on Obama time today. My bad. Because, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. One thing I do admire about YSM, and why I always hit him up, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, boxing is boxing. I think the kind of impact you have in the city, man, that's the stuff that I'm learning, man. Because I'm telling you, every fighter that's from Philly got that country ass accent y'all got. They know my brother YSM. So you let me know. I got some.
Watch your tone.
We
That's
country.
crazy. That's crazy to say.
Wait, watch your tone, BBO. We ain't country, bro.
You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't watching nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing.
BBO, where you from?
I will.
BBO, where you from?
Us Philly cats, we're about that. I'm from the old school.
Hold on. What'd you say, YSM?
I cut you 20
old school hanging,
brother.
Where's BBO
old
from?
school hanging.
Cleveland.
From Cleveland. I'm from
You
Cleveland.
calling us country, nigga? Oh
Right.
my god.
That's what I'm talking about. YSM, he from Cleveland. He probably really from Akron. You know what I'm saying? He might be pump faking. You know what I'm saying? He might be from Akron.
He from Akron like Jay Reed?
Oh,
like
wow.
Jay Reed. You ain't
Cowboys
no
out of
cop,
control.
Jay Reed. That's my brother, man. That's my man.
Yeah.
You forgot y'all forgot Cleveland run boxing? Did you forget that?
No, y'all don't run boxing, but y'all Ohio dudes can rumble. I get on that.
Don
Y'all
King.
some rumbling motherfuckers.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
They can't rumble.
Yeah.
Cleveland,
Y'all
they can rumble.
motherfuckers.
I don't know if y'all can beat Philly though. Philly versus Cleveland, I think we'll cook y'all. But I think they got some.
Y'all best fighters, Bernard Hopkins, man. Y'all best fighters, Bernard Hopkins, man. We stopping him. That's our best fighter.
And guess what?
We stopping him.
And I'm gonna say this for prize fighter and YSM because we Philly cats. We gonna go ahead and let you think that, bruh.
You said Nard's our best fighter? I don't know about Nard being our best fighter.
Oh, you crazy.
So.
We got guys way better than Nard.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. What I'm saying is, if you look at complete fighter, what he was able to do, how he dominated, I don't think y'all had a guy. There's nothing wrong with it. I think he's the best that came from you guys. I mean, our best fighters, Aaron Pryor, he was never as accomplished as Bernard Hopkins.
No, but when you say best, there's accomplished and best. Because I'm gonna say a name, and if my man that was talking is an old head, he gonna remember this name. As far as like a fighter, just not what you accomplish, just a fighter. Tyrone Everett. Tyrone Everett is up there.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin, Tyrone Everett.
Tyrone Everett's up there.
The dude from South Philly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he can fight. Oh, he can fight. He can fight.
Yeah.
What happened? And was he like in the
Oh,
drums
yeah.
or something? Because he could fight. He could fight. I know he could fight, bro. But the reason I said that about the children earlier, now that you can hear me a little better, is, man, I actually heard a kid say something. I can't talk about it too much. It's kind of graphic. But these young kids, especially these young men, they'll do anything for money. And I never in a million years thought that I would see a young man do anything for money. And that's a shame. That's a shame that their daddy didn't tell them, hey, you can't just do anything for money. It's some wild stuff going on out here. And I'm just saying, these young guys, it's up to us to say, you know what, hey, man, y'all can't do that. Because I see what drill music did to the whole Midwest. And now I see it touching down with you guys. It's one of the most evil things that ever happened is drill music.
Most
I mean,
diabolical
so
music, one of the most diabolical genres of music ever created.
And they can't even
We
rap. They
know
just get on there to talk crazy.
you smoked out, they can rap. They can rap.
They can't rap.
what?
But you know, the thing that's so crazy
Yeah,
about it is when I was growing up, YSM, I grew up around a lot of evil street dudes, and I would see dudes play with the pentagram, play the Ouija board, all that, right? And I
What?
think these young dudes is worse than them. You don't remember when you ever seen Belly? The movie Belly?
the Ouija
Yeah.
board.
Yo,
Yeah.
I've never
You see,
watched all of Belly, but yeah.
if you turn on Belly, in the beginning of that movie, DMX is making a pentagram.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The Ouija board, man. Yeah,
But
yeah.
see, what it is, and my dad said this, so I don't know this to be true, but this is what my father said, that dudes felt like God didn't exist because he had them in such messed up situations. So they said, F it, I'm going to do what I want. I'm a devil. I'm a demon. This before that word demon time came out. That's what my dad said. He said cats would just do whatever they wanted. So that's what I mean when I say that. And I just think it's sad because, man, we've seen a lot of these young girls getting pregnant by these dudes who've never worked. We've seen just a lot of really bad things, man. And for me, I don't know about you, YSM. It's sad to see these kids, man. They're getting worse and worse and worse, man.
I think it starts with us though. It starts with us in the
Starts at
sense
home.
of men
In what way?
men stop being men. I think we let
Right.
all this outside noise about just, now you got motherfuckers talking about toxic masculinity. No, it's not toxic masculinity. It's the lack of masculinity that's hurting
Mm-hmm.
the world out here. Like, yo, when you can tell the difference between a boy, and this is no disrespect, but a single mom can only do but so much. You can tell when a boy grew up with a man. Like when you look at the Mason brothers, right? You can tell, like
Mm-hmm.
their disposition, their demeanor. You can tell that there's a man in their life.
A merman, because they don't talk, but a man for sure.
That's crazy. You're a wild dude.
Wait, what'd
Oh
you say?
man.
I said I would made a joke, because they say merman can't talk. I said a merman, but a man. Because one thing I noticed, the few times I get to be around the Masons, them brothers are not big talkers at all. None of them. Like they not big talkers at all.
Nah.
That's why I said that. but speaking of that, sometimes I don't know if you ever had this happen. I don't know if anybody ever had this happen. You can hear a young guy talk, and somehow I don't know how I've been able to do this, but you can hear the woman. You don't even
Yes.
hear them anymore. You hear a woman talking. I don't know if you ever had that happen.
No, but that's kind of what I was alluding to when I talked about being
Yeah,
able to manage their emotions. A lot of
for
times
sure.
these young boys are raised by women, right? And we all know how women
Yes,
are
sir.
with emotions. Their emotions control them. And so now you got a bunch of young boys. Like, okay, women are the same ones that will go to another girl's house and drag them out the house. Dudes ain't doing all that. You know why dudes ain't doing all that? Because you know the likelihood that somebody got a burner in the crib. But women don't live
Right.
by caution sometimes, right? Even when you
For
involved in
sure.
street stuff, you have to use a sense of strategy, right? You don't just
Mm-hmm.
come
Yeah.
down the block just dumping. because you could get shot. So no, you like, no, we're gonna circle
For sure.
back and we go. You already know what I'm talking about. And so
For
now
sure.
you got these young boys that don't know how to process emotion because all they've ever seen is their moms and them just succumb to every emotion and crash out. And there was no man to be there and be like, yo, center yourself, chill. It ain't that deep. They just going off at the handle. And you seal it, you see it spilling over. You see it.
Mm-hmm. But my one question would be, because when you it's like when you talk to them and you try to explain to them how life works. Like I seen a young guy made a video, right? And he said they working me like a slave. They want me to work a whole 8 hours at my job. That's slave work. Like when you hear that kind of stuff, it's so disgusting because I don't think a lot of young guys even know what they're saying. Because one thing I noticed, and this is just my opinion, growing up with a mother like I grew up with my grandmother. It seems like women raise their daughters and just let their sons do what they want. But see, my granddad was crazy. He's one of them dudes where if you even said something to this whole dude, he about to throw hands. Like I remember I asked my granddad something, and I must have said something smart. And bro, he hit me right in front of my friends, man. I was so pissed.
You learned a valuable lesson that day.
Indeed.
Yo, is
Hey,
it different?
well, I said, I was sick. I was sick when he hit me because he didn't hit me with a light one. He gave me a hard one, man. But even that's missing because I see the parenting now is more of people trying to be friends with their children, or you will see like talk about toxic masculinity. You see like women treating like young boys like that's their man, and I think that's toxic. But no one speaks about that. Where you'll have like I've actually had a friend like that where you got people who got a weird relationship with their mother. If you know what I mean, I don't know if you guys know what I mean when I say that, but it's like they're their mom's man. It's weird. You know what I mean? Where you almost got to be like Melvin and say, this is my woman. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys ever experienced that, but I don't know why. So we don't got all the answers, but I'm telling you, man, we got to talk about it because it's getting scary, man. It's getting scary because I got young daughters, man, and I don't want them to run into one of these overly emotional dudes who can't take nothing being said to them, or they want to get it bent out of shape or something happen. I hate it, man. I hate it, man.
I
You
want
can't
my
say
daughter with them either.
like you said, you can't say nothing to these dudes. Like it's like a climate where you like they can't be checked. Yo, you remember when your old heads used to check you? It wasn't always your pop.
No,
You was doing some dumb shit. There might have been your pop friends, or your friends pop, like, or just a older dude. He ain't even got to be significantly older. He could have been 4 years older, 5 years older, 6 years older, and you 12, 13, where they would check you. Yo, we ain't doing that. You might be on the corner talking to your friends who was into that. No, get the fuck off the corner.
Right.
You're a ball player. Go play ball.
That don't exist no more. You got old
I
niggas calling the
think
young
it
boys big
exists.
homie.
I think it exists. I just think what happened is you got this thing where you got, especially these younger women, don't say nothing to my son. And what happens is they go to the jailhouse, and I'm just being real. They go to the jailhouse and become somebody's girl. How many times we done seen a young dude getting his head slapped off by some old country dude in jail? Because when you get to jail, there's no weapons, and it's all about hand-to-hand combat. And it's sad because you hear people always, not everything got to be about a weapon. You know, what happened to two dudes if they got respect for each other? If it's that bad, why can't we throw hands and go back to our families? You know what I mean? I just think even little stuff like that is missing, man. But like I said, we can't fix it on today. But one thing I gotta tell you is I appreciate you, man. I know you're on the road, but I appreciate you, man. And what you got coming up next, man?
Oh shit. I don't even know. Probably Keyshawn and De Los Santos. I'm gonna slide the VA for that.
Yeah,
That's in VA.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's gonna be
Norfolk.
a VA.
Where? Where at?
Whatever the Norfolk Arena, where he fought
Norfolk
Gustavo
Arena.
Lima. Yeah.
Hey, that's actually not too bad. I actually can drive to that one. It ain't too far, man. But I'll tell you this though, man.
You just want to go to Virginia Beach. You ain't slick.
Hey, shout out to Bad News Virginia, man. Shout out to Virginia, man. But one thing I will say, man, we got one of the greatest sports out, and it's always good to not only talk boxing, but we talk community, man, because the community matters, and we want to see young guys and young women do well. So, anybody out there, man, don't sell drugs. Don't get caught up in the stuff that people think is cool, because when you're 50, it's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. If I gotta buy you a coffee because you thirsty, or you running up to me, you at the Chinese spot, you all find the Chinese spot, how much you hungry, BBO gonna laugh in your face. So don't do it. Don't do it.
That's crazy.
Don't do it. And BBO is gonna be laughing like the Joker if you don't do it. I'm just gonna do it. I see one of the homeboys I went to school with. He out there begging. YSM, I pulled up, rolled the window down. I was laughing like the Joker, bro.
Oh,
Because at the end of the day, man, there's no accountability. And shout out to my man Walla for saying that. In the black community, we always saying stupid stuff like, "Oh, he not a drug addict. He doing him." No, F that. That's wrong. We got to hold cats accountable, man. If you don't make great decisions, man, I got a right to laugh at you till my stomach hurt. I got a right to do that. That's just how I feel. But
Bro,
on
you
that
like
note,
a super villain, bro.
hey, don't say that about me because I'm black. That's cold. That's cold. Why you said it about the black man? Come on, man.
Bro, you
They've been
said
doing that to me for 400 years, man. Don't do that.
you
Don't
said
throw no
you
label on me, man.
you rolled the window down and laughed like the
yeah, that's
Joker.
crazy.
Is
That's crazy.
insane, bro. It's insane.
Crazy
Yo,
work.
YSM, you ain't never laughed at a nigga before. Stop. I don't want to hear that.
Yo.
You ain't never seen a cat and just start laughing. Come on, bro. Come on. It's me, baby. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know you was laughing at cats.
You a wild dude, bro. You a wild dude.
But
hey,
shout out
that
B3
dude
Picks.
must be.
Let's go green. Shout out to the Breakfast Box. Shout out to the Smoke Shop. Shout out to Raycon. And definitely shout out my man YSM, who said he's never laughed at nobody before. So shout out to you, YSM. We love you, man.
Appreciate
we'll see you
bro.
soon, man. Peace.
All right, y'all have a good day.
BBO out of control, bro.
Something is wrong with this man. I'm gonna get him.
He definitely was entertaining though. He definitely was entertaining.
Yeah,
But
I gotta give
I'll
my
say
brother
this,
some
man.
love.
Hold on. We live. So I'm gonna just say this real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brothers holding it down. I think my man Puerto Rican Free must have fell down the steps. I didn't hear him at all, but I had to drive around because by my neighborhood, it's in the suburbs, the internet sucks. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But as soon as I hop in the car, it's sweet.
Yeah, it's something with the towers and something like that out in the suburbs. That's everywhere in the suburbs across the country, man.
I know when I'm down North Carolina in my other crib, boy, I stay dropping off the what did Free call me? Drop off prize that one week. I kept dropping. It was just horrible.
I'll just say this, man. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. My brother Mike Grimm, my brother Bentley, Big Dre, the biggest hater. Shout out to Big Drop Dre, the biggest hater. Hating on BVO. Shout out to West Indian Market, Sugar Cane. Shout out to Clarence. Shout out to my man Clarence, aka I got the papers and oils. Shout out to, and I heard he got fake forces now. If you need some forces, man, check my brother C Ruffin out. He not a Muslim. Don't ask him that, but he got the shea butter. He got the papers, and we love him, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to my brother Ant. What my man? What the chairman say? The loquacious Ant McQueen. Shout out to my brother Ant, man. Appreciate you coming through. Definitely shout out to one of the sponsors. Shout out to my brother B3 Picks.
Appreciate you trusting in me, man. Give me an opportunity, man. And who said brothers can't work together? B3 just proved a lot of people wrong. He came and did a deal with his brother. So shout out to my brother B3. Shout out to my man Champ Ross. Champ Ross, he been trying to roast me in the comments. Appreciate you coming through, man. And that's everybody, man. But thank you guys for coming. The channel's growing. I appreciate you guys. We got bigger and bigger, better shows coming. I'm not sure if the right side's coming tonight. You doing anything tonight, Free, or are you kicking back?
He's supposed to be.
Oh, okay. I ain't heard nothing. But check my man right side at 11:30. And if you haven't seen it, BVO's own D Free did a 3-hour interview. One of the most entertaining things I ever heard. I'm a little pissed he didn't bring that to us. But shout out to my man, because I ain't know Free was that crazy. When Free told that story about beating everybody in the race, waiting back, with an orange juice, I said he a cold mofo, man. Shout out to my man. Shout out to my man Puerto Rican Free. Shout out to my man YSM, always coming through. And I love that my brother cuss every other word. Shout out to him, man. You know, we try not to cuss, but when my big brother come through, we gotta let him cuss, man. And we gone, y'all. Peace.
Oh, man.
Peace.
Peace.